My name is Garrett. I'll be doing a series of web blogs about script writing. Now, whether you're writing for a commercial, or you're making a series, or you're doing an actual movie, I'm going to be helping you out with that and give you some tips and pointers on how to write better scripts. A little bit about myself. I started writing for a show a couple years ago that my friends and I made to broadcast on public television and the internet, but that fell apart. And now I'm back with one of the friends from the show, and we are writing a whole new show. We have some great stuff, and I just want to share with you what I've learned along the way so far. The first tip that I want to give you is you need to understand why you're writing this show, or commercial, or miniseries, or movie, or whatever it may be. You need to understand why you're writing it. Sit down and think, what really am I trying to accomplish here? The reason being is that you need to understand the size of the project that you're working on. With commercials, they're really short, but there's a story to be told in commercials, or the good ones are, or there's just a lot of sex appetites in them. Or if you're making a miniseries, you need to sit down and think, am I going to be able to push out at least a 15-minute script each week? Or if you're making a movie, am I going to be able to actually devote myself to this project and actually make this movie? Because there are a lot of elements, even to just a little 10-second commercial. It sounds really easy, and when you get down to it, it is, after you do a couple good ones. But at the start, it gets kind of frustrating just to play with all the elements, and then when you go to shoot it, you're like, well, this wasn't really all that great. You can blame it on the writer. If the writer doesn't do a good job, then the thing won't be good. So you just need to sit down and think about what you want to do, and if you can devote that much time to it and that much effort to it. This blog is, you need to think about who you're writing for. If you're writing for your friends, or if you're writing for somebody else who's casting outside of your circle of friends. The reason being is that your friends, they're at a certain level of acting. Whether it may be small or a large level, they're still at a certain level. You can't have a friend who's really good with doing comedy all the time and then switch it up to where they need to do a serious drama. You need to think about your friends who are really like blank slates. They're probably not going to be the best for comedy. Blank slate being that they really have no personality. They really aren't that sociable. They aren't really just sociable, to say. Because those people, they might do good here and there, but as a consistent and believable actor, they might not be so good at it. So you need to think about who you're writing for. Now, if you're writing for people outside of your circle of friends, and let's say you're casting in your community, then write however you want. And if someone doesn't fit to how you or whoever is producing your movie or film or whatever it may be, if they don't fit that part, then well, you don't have to cast them. That's the great thing about casting outside of your circle. Now, people can grow, they can change as actors, but some things are a little bit more time sensitive. So if you're doing this little mini-series and you're introducing this new character just to throw another friend in there, you have to think, how can my friend fit into this show? You can't go, oh wait, this character would be great for this show. It's not going to work, because you're going to have this friend who's not going to be able to fall off the part. So it sucks when you're writing for friends, but it can also be a great thing. It's all dependent on how you tackle it and how good your friends are at acting and how much they can grow in a short period of time. The third tip for this blog, and the final tip for this blog, is you need to understand and really sit down and think about what type of genre you want to write. Do you want to write horror? Do you want to write comedy? Do you want to write drama? Just sit down and pick one. You can mix and match, but be careful about that. When you pick one, really study that field. Just don't go, I'm going to write a comedy, and then you write a comedy and it's really not that funny and it's really not what you want it to be. Definitely study what you're doing. If you're doing horror, study the horror movies of the past and the present. If you notice nowadays, they mix in a lot of comedy into the horrors, and it really takes away from the aspect of the horror movie now. I mean, if you're writing horror, make it dark and gritty, show a different side, like a psychological side of what this horror fantasy world is about. Don't just throw in these little one-liners that, may get a laugh out, because that's going to really draw your audience out of the experience that they're having with your script. And, if you're writing comedy, your goal is to make people laugh. Now you can make a dramedy, which, you move people and make them laugh along the way. But, if you're going to do that, then you definitely have to study the dramedies of today. Because there's been a lot of good ones, but there's been a lot of stinkers. And then, if you're writing drama, of course, don't try to throw in all these crazy different drama elements. To each genre, there's a lot of different elements. Like, if you're doing horror, there's a gritty and dark side to it, or there's a psychological side to it, or, if you're doing comedy, there's the slapstick comedy, there's just, little one-liners here and there, there's, long elaborate jokes that people tell, and then there's also pullbacks where someone tells a joke early on and then makes a reference to it later on in the movie. And then if you're doing drama, you can either make it a whole heart-jerker throughout the whole thing, or, you make it sort of that building moment to where everybody's just left in awe. You really need to think about those different things, about what you want to do, and really focus on that. And when you're writing, just write your script. Don't worry about your actual format. Don't worry about what other people are going to think. Just write your script. Throw all your ideas out at once, so that way nothing's lost. You can always edit later, and if someone doesn't like what you're writing, then fuck them. They don't have to be in your thing. They can be in the next project if they want to, or you don't have to have them in a project at all. So just write what you're feeling, and if you have spelling errors, that's fine. There's spell check on computers nowadays, so just write. Just throw all the ideas out there and make this project your own. Don't conform to anything. Don't cut corners. Just make what you're writing yours. Make it feel like this is work by this person, and everybody will know it. So that's the last tip for this vlog. On the next vlog, I'll be telling you how to structure things in a script format, and delving into a little bit with character relations. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be a lot of good tips here, and a lot of good meat and potatoes, if you will. So I hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you back.